Welcome to today's total body workout that will build strength, stability, and longevity at any age. If you are wondering if it's possible to build muscle in your 50s, 60s, and beyond, the answer is a resounding yes. Science supports the idea that with the right stimulus, we can build muscle at any age of our life. However, as we get older, the way that we train matters. Instead of just chasing muscle, we need to train in a way that preserves our joint integrity. That's why this workout is designed to be joint friendly. We're going to move in a slow and controlled manner that is designed to improve our neuromuscular integrity while reducing our joint wear and tear. As we get older, the focus is not so much about how much weight we're lifting, but about the ability to remain consistent over time in a way that supports the way that our joints individually move. This way, our body will support us throughout all decades of our life. Come join me. Welcome to the Joint Longevity Lab by Fitness Integrated Science. I'm Lauren Irk, and in this workout, I'm going to be using some compound motions with some exercises that I have chosen that are designed to help you to build muscle. I'm also going to be using some dumbbells. I have a light and a heavy set. If you've never lifted weights before, I would recommend that you do this whole workout at least 1 or 2 times with body weight only to see if that's enough. So let's start with some body weight work. I want you to begin with your feet about hip width apart. As you do this, let's just practice sitting down as though we're sitting into a chair. Then I want you to push into your heels, tighten through the fronts of your legs, engage your abdominals, and lift your chest. So as you sit, I want you to shift your hips to the back wall. Then as you come right back up, you're squeezing into the glutes and into the fronts of the legs. Now the depth of your squat certainly does matter. If you have a long torso and shorter legs, you may notice that you can't squat as far as somebody with different dimensions. If you have a knee replacement or a knee injury, that may affect how you squat. So I want you to just spend a couple of moments just noticing how your individual body moves. Let's do that a couple more times. And now this time I want you to stay at the bottom and maintain this position. Place your hands on the fronts of your legs, tighten your belly. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then as you exhale, I want you to flex your spine. As you do that, you're tightening the abdominal muscles, drawing the rib cage closer to the pelvis. As you inhale, lower that waistline down and try to go in the opposite direction, moving the base of the ribs down to the top of your pelvis and the back of your body. So let's do that back and forth, rounding into your back on your exhale and extending your spine on your inhale. Let's do that a couple more times, exhaling, and just notice if you're feeling stiff in either one of these. Every day, your body has a certain ability to move, and it's important that we honor that. Last time. Now, I want you to just keep that spine nice and extended. See if you can now take your hands off of your legs and just cross over your shoulders. Notice the strength in your lower back. As you inhale, flat back, come all the way up into the center and hold. Now with your elbows lifted, do you notice how that really supports what we call thoracic extension? Feel the small of your back lifting through your chest, inhale. Then when you exhale, see if you can maintain that as you come forward. Now there's going to be a certain amount of rounding the further down that you go. So just try to keep that chest lifted even if you don't go down as far. As you inhale, be very mindful about coming up to the top. Let's do that one more time, coming down, and then bringing that all the way back to the top, and then just release your arms to your sides. Now, let's pick up one foot and see if we can balance on one leg, change, and then do the same thing on the other side. This is going to tell you a lot about your foot mechanics, your ankle mechanics, and your hips, seeing if you're able to balance from one side to the other. Let's go 2 more times. Definitely the foot is important. I'm barefoot. You're welcome to use tennis shoes if you like, but strengthening your feet is super important. Now let's just bring both of our feet to the ground now, and then just separate the legs a little bit wider apart. From here, externally rotate the hips, and let's go back down to what I like to call the Sumo squat. Your knees are pointing out to the side, and we're squeezing into the outer hips. On your inhale, take that right shoulder, bring it all the way into that fully flexed position, squeezing into the left side of your spine. exhale and come down. And then do the same thing on the other side. Now I am maintaining the squat for a reason. I'm trying to keep my lower body involved because this is what's going to generate a lot more growth hormone. And as we age, making sure that our hips, knees, and ankles are strong is paramount. I'm sure you've heard the statistics about people falling. We don't want to have that happen. So let's go ahead and rotate to the right. I'm just going to pivot so that both my hips and my knees go in the same direction. If you notice, my heel is perpendicular to the ground. I want you to lower yourself down on your exhale. Then as you come right back up, push that all the way back up to the top. Let's do that again, lowering that back down as you exhale, and then as you inhale, we're pressing that all the way back to the top. Now some of you might have some knee issues, and if that's the case, this is going to very much determine how far down you go into your lunge. And if you're having a hard time balancing, you may want to bring your feet closer together as you lower it down, and then as you inhale, you're pressing that back up to the top. So there's many ways to accomplish this exercise without being afraid of it. Let's go one more time. And now I want you to hold this here. Squeeze into your back glute, lightly pressing that forward, lifting through your chest, and then just bring your arms out in front of your body. Now you may feel a pull across the front of the hip, but I want you to focus more on tightening into that glute. Then if you can, try to maintain that as you bring your arms over your head. Take a deep breath in. Then as you exhale, move all the way back down, and we're just going to turn right back to the center. Now I'm just going to widen my stance again. Now I'm rotating to the left, and this exercise will come up in this workout, which is why we're going over it now. Squeezing that glute in back again. Notice how far you're able to move here. Try to keep your knee moving in line with your foot. If you can't, you may need to change your foot position. Pushing that all the way up to the top, tightening, and then lower that down. You should already begin to notice that your cardiovascular system is starting to kick in, your body is starting to warm up, and you're really getting a lot of great information about how your body is moving today. Let's go 2 more times. Exhale down and squeeze back in and bringing it down. Now let's just see if we can't hold it here. Remember, you can always step your feet closer together. You can widen your stance left to right, whatever you like to do. Let's just squeeze into that back glute, lift your chest again, and then move both of your arms directly out in front of your body. On your inhalation breath, see if you can move your arms over your head, which is really hard to do. If you've ever done lunges holding something over your head, you know that would to be the case. Then as you exhale, lower the arms down, come all the way up and tighten, and turn right back into the center. Now with one more time, let's take a nice big breath in. Exhale, roll your shoulders around a couple of times, and we are ready to go. I'm going to begin with a squat. Now when I'm doing a squat, I felt pretty good about moving with body weight, so I'm going to go ahead and move through with some weights. Again, you don't have to. You're more than welcome to diminish of the weights and just do body weight only. I want you to stand in such a way that when your knees bend a little bit, your knees are in line with your feet. Some people like to squat a little wider. If that's something that you feel more comfortable with, maybe that's the way that your hips are made, please feel free to do that. What I don't want you to do is try to force your feet in a specific position when your knees are going somewhere else. Our hip joints are the most important part, and where your knees are pointing is indicative of where your hips are moving. So I feel really comfortable like this. I'm just going to hold my arms at my sides and become with a nice lifted chest. From here, lower down into your squat. Now what you should notice as you lower down is that your ability to squat may diminish because we are actually holding some of our weights. I'm just going to turn to the side. When you squat, there is going to be a point for every individual that your squat starts to fall apart. Sometimes people are designed to squat and they're just come squatters right out of the womb. Some people are terrible at squatting, and I've certainly worked with those people. They just don't squat very well. Everyone should squat because this is a movement that we all do. We sit down, we stand up. We sit down, we stand up. But remember, we're not always going to look the same. So if you start to notice your pelvis tucking under, I want you to come up a little higher. Don't drop down as far. Obviously, as you get stronger, your ability to go down into a squat will improve over time. Notice I'm going very slow and controlled. So as you go down, you want to keep your shoulders on your back, squatting. Hold that for a second, then I'm coming up mindfully, squeezing the tops of the thighs. Doing that again as we exhale down. Then as you inhale, we're pressing that all the way back up to the center. So let's go 4 more here. Here's 4. Squeezing down and tightening the fronts of the legs. and 3. Make sure your abdominal muscles are nice and strong, your chest staying lifted, and your shoulders are on your back. 2 more times. Great job. And now I want you to just try to hold at the bottom. So how can we own the squat? Do you feel like you can actually maintain your position without collapsing? Feel how this is translating through your thighs, through your hip flexor muscles. Keep your shoulders from rounding forward. Keep your chest lifted and balanced. Beautiful. Then when you exhale, I want you to sit those weights on the floor and then come all the way back up. Now you notice I wasn't so much concerned about how many reps that we did. And what's more important is that how well did you do each and every individual repetition. Don't get into that counting game. If you want to build muscle, it's all about a lot of reps, a lot of consistency. So we're going to take a little break from there. I'm going to go to a lighter set of dumbbells for my shoulders, whatever that's going to be for you. And yes, we have to go back into the squat. The reason I'm doing this is to stimulate that lower body muscle growth. So with your chest lifted, your shoulders on your back, I want you to go down into your squat. Now if you have lighter weights, you might think, oh, I could go further down in my squat. That's exactly right. Watch that you're not rounded. Lift your chest, keep your shoulders on your back. Now ideally, the back of your shoulders need to face the ceiling. If this becomes too much, use a chair. Put one hand on the chair, do a few reps on this side, and then do a few reps on the other side. Otherwise, we're going to try to move into a bent over row. I want you to squeeze your shoulders into your back, and then as you exhale down. Now if I'm up here, I'm not working my shoulders because gravity is sitting above me. I've got to get down in order for me to be able to hit the back of my shoulders. So again, I'm squeezing up and back and then lowering that down. I want you to try to maintain your elbow position directly above your wrist. So in other words, don't let your hands travel up into your shoulders. Keep your hands right under your elbows so that we can maximize shoulder muscles. This is great for the upper back, middle back, rear deltoids, lats, a lot of the muscles that support an upright posture. So let's squeeze in and lower. Great job. Squeeze in, hold, and lower. Now let's go 2 more times. And we want to try to bring that squat into the mix. So let's go ahead and stand up. I want you to squat down 1 time. Give me that rowing motion. Squeeze, come back down, and then push into the floor, come back to standing. Let's do that again. Squatting down. You may notice that your ability to squat, again, is enhanced because we have a lower weight. Let's do that 1 more time. So as we squat down, then we pull through, bringing it down, and stand to center, and then again, squatting down, pull it in, lower. Now, I want to play around with the bottom of this range. So at the bottom of the range, I want you to hold this here, pull your shoulders into your back and maintain the position. I want you to let go just a slight amount and then pull into your back. And this is what our spine does a lot during the day. It actually holds us still so that we can pick up heavy objects, right? So let's go for 5, halfway down, 6, really pinch those shoulder blades together. Here's 7. 1 more time for 8, hold it, and release it. All right, so let's drop those weights down now, noticing how your body feels. Roll your shoulders around a little bit. Good. Definitely heart rate is a little elevated. So now I want to try some what's called asymmetrical loading. Bend your knees, keep your spine nice and straight when picking up a weight, especially since we're only going to pick up 1 at this time. So starting off in the center, I want you to separate your legs apart about 3.5 to 4 feet, whatever's comfortable for you. And then I'm going to begin, I'm just going to turn to the left. From here, my back foot is perpendicular to the ground. I want you to place the weight in the same hand as the leg that's in back. The opposite knee is pointing in front. Make sure that your knee is in line with your hip and your ankle. And you want to make sure that you're not lining up your feet rather, but the distance between your hips. So there's about maybe 6 inches between the inside of the front foot and the inside of the back foot. Now keeping your chest lifted, your hips are square to the top. I want you to notice right away, can you hold this? Do you feel how the weight is pulling you sideways? I have to use muscles on the opposite side to keep me upright. So I'm still working my core. So let's lower it down slowly. Then as you dig your forward heel into the floor, we tighten up into the quadricep. Now I'm only going to be doing 1 set of each of these exercises, but again, the focus is high reps, slow controlled motion, and really focusing on squeezing the muscles. So as I lower it down, I'm going to mindfully push through the heel and tighten that quad. Coming back down, good, and then I'm pushing back through. And I'm watching my body being pulled towards the dumbbell. So I have to very much work hard on maintaining spinal integrity on the opposite side. And I want you to put some pressure in that forward leg. Over the years, people have said to me, I hate lunges. Let's start learning how to like them. Figure out how you can do them in a way that supports your health. Remember not to stretch like this, your back heel. Keep that heel perpendicular. Good. Let's go 4 more to go. Here's 4, and squeeze through. 3, keep that chest nice and lifted. Try not to let your spine round. 1 more time, and just like we did before, I want you to come to the bottom of the squat. I love isometrics. I have definitely over the years given out isometrics to my clients as a muscle activation techniques therapist to help people improve muscular balance for years. So notice, can we hold this here? Really put some forces into that leg, try to keep your spine straight, and then we simply come up and turn back to the center. So I want you to change hands. We're gonna hit the other side. 2 sides may be different, and whatever side you do first is gonna deplete maybe the second side. So notice I switched which side I started from. When you step back, lining up the heel with the hip joint itself, look at your alignment on that forward leg, square your body to the center. So lower down a little bit. Notice how you feel. I'm not moving my ankle and back. I'm keeping it perpendicular. If you can go further, I'm actually working harder, right? I want you to think about now pushing your feet towards each other a little bit. Did you notice how that pressure moved into your hamstring? Now as you come up, dig that forward heel into the ground and tighten the quad. Keep that heel in the back lifted. So again, it's lowering down. Then we press up and tighten that forward leg, taking it down slow and bring it in. Now if this is really bothering your foot, you can bring your feet closer together. Then as I lower it down, I would be like this, and then every single time I could actually drop my back heel down. So that is another option if you have maybe one of your feet is not able to balance. I know a lot of people have different joint changes, particularly in the big toe in their back foot, pressing it down and back up. Be very deliberate, right? All right, keep that chest lifted, press down, dig the heel in, tighten the quad. Use the lateral flexors on the opposite side to control this motion. Great job, guys. Let's do about 4 more of these. Here's 4. You want to do about the same reps from right to left, although it's not crucial, right? And bring it back in. Every time I'm really working on straightening that forward knee, tightening that forward knee. Great work. And then 1 more time, I want you to hold that at the bottom and just keep that chest lifted. Can you engage the muscles in the back glute, noticing the lateral flexors on the opposite side of the spine, really feeling that forward thigh. I don't know about you. Whew. Body weight is definitely a thing. Let's go for 5, breathing 6, 7, 8, and come all the way up. Turn back to the center and step in. Great job. Again, we should notice our body has definitely heated up from doing that. All right, so for the next exercise, let's move into the shoulders. I want you to grab some dumbbells. Now we're going to start off by letting our lower body help. So I want you to flex into your elbows and lift through your chest. Now when you're here, the weight is directly in front of the shoulder, which really does push me back. I want you to drop down into a squat. Now think of exploding out of the squat. And I want you to push the weights up slightly above your shoulders. Let's do that again. Sitting down, then pushing up slightly above your shoulders. So in essence, the lower body is assisting the upper body to do this. Let's do it 1 more time, and again. Okay, so now I want you to stay standing. Lower just your arms minus your legs. Go right back where you were. Do you notice how much heavier it is? So we always want to do a combination of isolation work and integration work when we think about building muscle. In other words, multiple joints working together and then single joints working by themselves. Let's go 2 more and 1. Now, what if I told you we want to try to get up as high as we can? This may change the way that we execute the exercise. So I want you to keep lifting through your chest. Now when you push the weights up, we want to take them all the way over the shoulder and then bring that back down. One of the things that we want to avoid throughout our life is not being able to reach for things. So you have to intentionally train this. And one thing that happens that I've seen with people as they age, including myself, is that the shoulder really gets beat up, right? So if you can't fully flex your shoulders right now, do the best that you can. You have the rest of your life to work on this. Let's go 2 more and 1 more. All right. Now I want to give each side a little bit of a break, so let's go ahead and drop those arms. I'm going to incorporate a bicep curl to this, okay? So as we keep that chest lifted, I want you to flex into the elbows, then we push those weights over the head, lower down back into that flex position, and then finally lower the weight to the side. Let's do that again slowly. Flex into the front of the arm, lift the sternum, push up, bend the elbows down by the sides, keeping that chest lifted, then mindfully extend the elbows. So we want to make sure that muscles that cross the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist are strong throughout our lives. Now, what if we incorporated that little squat again? So I want to come up, squat down. Now when we push the weight over the head, we're going to move that weight up, squat back down, and release the elbows here. Inhale, flexing into the elbows. Push up, squat down, and lower the arms. Inhale, flexing into the elbows. Push up, lower down, and release it. So we are stimulating a lot of muscles across the lower body, the hips, the elbows, the shoulders, even the chest and spine. Bringing it back down. Make sure that you are using a weight that you can control. That's really important. I know a lot of the literature about aging is lift as heavy as possible. Yes and no. Control is the most important thing. Remember, it's about joint integrity. The word longevity means I want to do this for my life, not for a week, not for one workout. We're talking for the rest of our lives. So if you're working out in a way where you can't do that, you are killing yourself with every workout, you're gonna lose, right? Hold it here and release it. Whew, that was a lot. All right, so as we take those down, we have now stimulated a lot of muscles, both on the top of our body as well as on the bottom. So I want you to exhale now, come all the way down to the floor, bring your hands to the mat and come down to all fours. And if you have a better way to come down to the floor, please feel free to do that. On your exhale breath, walk your legs forward and swing your legs around. Now I want you to grab some weights that you feel comfortable using for your lower body and sit them right down beside your hips. Lower yourself to the ground. And then with you keeping your head on the floor, I want you to place your dumbbells right on the hip joints themselves. Pinch the shoulder blades into your back and lift your chin. This exercise is our glute bridge, and what this is going to do is help us to strengthen our lower back and hips. So pressing your heels into the ground, I want you to comfortably raise your hips to the ceiling, holding that bridge here. Then as you lower this down, be very mindful about that. Couple of things. Many people, when they do this exercise, they will complain of lower back pain. What I want you to do is minimize how high you press the hips up. We don't want to jam our lower back. You can also take the weights down or take them away. Keep your chin lifted. Make sure that you are squeezing your shoulder blades into the ground so that you keep a little bit of the pressure off of the neck. Remember, we want to use the entire spine, not just the lower back. Keep that sternum lifted. Feel the lower back, feel the glutes, feel the hamstrings. This is really focusing on the back of the body. Let's go 4 more, breathing, and back down, and 3, squeezing. Last 2, bringing it back in. And now I want you to hold this up. Now as you hold it up, take your weights off and hold those hips to the center. Now that's tough to maintain that position. Drive your shoulder blades into the ground, raise your chin, and now see if you can push those weights to the top. Turn your weights end to end. From here, pinching your shoulder blades together, I want you to now move your weights apart. So notice I'm letting my elbows come out to the sides. Maintain the wrist position over the elbow. Then as you exhale, you're pushing that all the way to the center. This is an awesome exercise because I'm hitting my glutes, I'm hitting my lower back, I'm working on the retractor muscles in my shoulders. I'm working on my spinal extensors, which is huge, all the while working on a simple pressing motion that's going to be designed to build a chest and shoulders. Good. Now the decline chest position is always going to be a little less stressful to the shoulder joint simply because I'm not as abducted or out to the side as far. Keeping that in for 5 and 6. Keep driving those shoulders into the floor. Here's 7. And now I want you to keep those weights balanced right over your shoulders. Let's come out of bridge now. So now we have changed the orientation of the chest. We're working a little more across the mid-chest, the sternal pec, pinching the shoulder blades together again. We're moving it out. Then I want you to push those shoulders back and squeeze to the top. Taking it out to the side and down and squeeze. Now if you start to notice any kind of shoulder pain or any kind of a pinching around that region, what that should tell you is that you need to change the position of your arms. Maybe your elbows need to drop down. In other words, maybe they need to be down here just a little bit. Be mindful of your shoulders. Everyone is going to come to this video with a different body, right? You have a different joint history than someone else. So you've got to honor that. 2 more times. Let's go for 4 and 3, 2, and just hover right along the ground. Hovering here for 5, 6, 7, 8, and come down. Now I want you to bring your elbows in. From here, lower your weights down. As you do that, move your body off the floor. Now, keeping your knees bent, I want you to lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Tuck your chin and lightly place your hands under your head. On your exhalation breath, let's come into that crunch, that abdominal position. Inhale, bring that back out. Again, exhale, crunching into your abdominals and move that back out. Great work. Let's go for 4, breathing. And 3, exhale. 2 more times, exhale, breath. And 1 more. And as we hold this here, I want you to pick up your feet. So now we're adding a little more flexion to the spine. I want you to exhale, hold, and then bring that down. My hips are fully flexed. My knees are fully flexed. I'm shortening at the top of the spine as well as the bottom. Keep your head relaxed into your hand, but my chin is tucked. My focus is not about how high I go, but rather how far I can drive the rib cage to the hips. So let's go for 4, breathing, and 3, exhale. 2 more times, breathing, and 1, hold that there. All right, now taking 1 weight into your hand, we want to finish off with another asymmetrical load for the back of the body. Lower your feet down. Now we want to place that weight only on 1 hip. As we bring our shoulder blades into the back, let's go back into our bridge exercise. I want you to really focus on squeezing the glute under the weighted dumbbell. Make that foot feel heavy. As you exhale, we lower down almost to the floor. Then pushing through your heel, we squeeze into that glute, taking it down. Squeeze into that glute to hold it. Now my opposite shoulder is working to maintain my scapular position as well as my spinal position. Let's go 2 more. And now I want you to maintain that position at the top. See if you can balance here by taking 1 foot off the floor. Now, if this is too much, obviously put that foot back down. As you exhale, we lower. And notice it's even harder because now we are not allowing this leg to help us. Great job. Squeezing it in and lower it down. Pressing it in and lowering it down. Let's go for 3 and 2. Exhale. And 1 more time. Let's hold it here. Isometric hold under resistance. Isometrics are great because they really teach us how to use our muscles properly. For 5, 6, 7, 8, and come down. Now, as you take your dumbbell into your hand, go ahead and put that foot on the ground. On your exhalation breath, we push that weight up to the ceiling. On your inhale, moving it out to the side, notice how the opposite side has to work to stabilize. Let's go 2 more times. And bringing it down, and then 1 more time. Now I want to add my abdominal muscle, my abdominal exercise to this. So as you exhale, I want you to come up and then push that weight to the ceiling. I'm allowing a little protraction in my shoulder, and then inhale, come out. So I'm not only weighting my chest, resisting my chest muscles, I'm also adding some load into my upper body. Let's go for 5, breathing, and 6, here's 7, and you may notice that the weight is causing you to rotate. That's exactly what I want you to do. Rotating through your spine. 1 more. and back down. Very nice. So now let's take our dumbbell and place it on the opposite hip, bringing that arm down to the ground, bringing your shoulder blades in. I want you to inhale and push up into that bridge position. So we're hitting the glutes and we're hitting our lower back, but we're also stimulating rotation because I'm only loaded on one side. This leg is helping us prevent that rotation. So as we press up, notice the pressure in the back of that shoulder. Remember that when we think of lifting weights, when we think of adding muscle, it's not always about moving weight. Sometimes it's about holding. That's where that stabilization word really does come in. Squeeze into the glute. You may notice that when you work from left to right, one side is continuously showing up as weaker. Think about that. That is your clue to maintaining your joints over the course of your life. Train your weaknesses. Let's go 2 more. Exhale. And now we hold that at the top. Can you balance? Pick that foot off the floor. How well do you feel balanced on this side as compared to the other one? Exhale, coming down. Woo, dig that heel in and squeeze. Do you notice if you have any weaknesses in here? And if you do, remember that will contribute to the health of your lower back. Squeeze, let's go for 5 and 6. Here's 7 and stay up on 8. Find your balance, shoulders on your back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that foot. We are almost done, guys. Grab that weight and then abduct the shoulder. So we're moving that arm out to the side. Do that only as much as you're allowing, that shoulder allows you to go into. Now, placing one hand behind the head. I want you to exhale. Push that weight up to the center, then noticing how that arm moves back out to the side. Exhale, pressing to the center. Inhale, back out to the side. So we're focused on driving the elbow towards the body's midline to hit the chest muscles. Now as we exhale, we come into that crunching motion, one side loaded, the other side not loaded. Well, it's loaded from gravity, but not from the weight. 2 more. Breathing. And look what I'm going to do. I'm going to start adding that rotation through my spine. Exhale and rotate. Back in. Rotate. Back in. So let's hit this 4 more times for 4. Breathing 3. Exhale 2 and 1 more time. Beautiful. Coming right back down. Bring that elbow in and then mindfully take the weight to the floor. So now as we take both of our knees into our chest, I want you to push your knees up into your hands, draw your hands down through your knee. What you're going to notice is almost like a feeling of traction in your lower back, but we are stimulating the hip flexor muscles. Take a deep breath in. Either rock up to the center or roll to your side. Now I want to finish with a very important isometric contraction. Flip your legs around on the floor. As you go down into a prone or face down position, bring your arms to your side and tuck your chin. Press your hips into the floor, pinch your shoulder blades into your back, and see if you have any lift off at all. Now you may not be able to come off the floor, and it's fine. Go to whatever position is comfortable for you. Engage the lower back, engage the glute, engage your legs, and I want you to pinch your shoulder blades back. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can also add cervical motion by raising your head up. I want you to stay here mindfully for 4, breathing 3, 2, and then come down. Very nice. I want to finish by rotating to the right. Let's rotate over that shoulder, looking to that direction. Exhale and come down. Then we turn and we look to the left. Such an important thing to do for our back every day. Place your hands on the ground. Separate your knees hip width apart. On your exhale, push your hands forward. Push your knees back. Notice your waistline dipping down and the strength coming into your lower spine. Then as you exhale, put your hands towards your knees, tighten your abs, round your back, and bring your chin down as well. Allow your shoulders to roll off of your back. Great job. Inhale, extend your spine 1 more time. Push your hands and knees isometrically. Notice I'm not really moving. I'm just using the friction of the mat away from each other, and then only raise up to be neutral. Now as we sweep both of our legs in front, we come into the conclusion of the workout. Roll your shoulders onto your back, and my hope is that you are feeling more energized than you were when you started. Thank you so much for watching. If you need more information, or if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to like the video so that the algorithms will push it out to more people. Also, make sure you're subscribed so that you never miss a video that we pull out. If you'd like more workouts like this, check out Fitness Integrated Science TV, where I address the whole focus of longevity and building strength through your body in ages 50 and up. I have a link below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.